Chief, what can I do against eyewitness testimony?
You've got the evidence in the court record, right? Find a contradiction and raise an objection.
Got it. Wait, do what now?
If your client's innocent, this testimony's fiction. So check your court record for the contradiction. It's time to take control. Story's clearly phony. Present something to poke a hole in the testimony.
I see.
Witnesses clearly lying to throw you off your case. Find the contradiction to rub in this one face. And after you have made your careful selection, present evidence as your aid and yell objection.
So let me get this straight, Mr. Sawit. You looked into the apartment and saw that the woman was dead. How did you know? She may have just been unconscious.
Well, I mean, she was lying completely still on the floor, and there was blood everywhere.
Blood? Everywhere?
It was obvious she was gone. I was too afraid to move. I couldn't even go inside. I was completely frozen. In fear.
He didn't go inside. That's probably the fastest contradiction I ever heard.
Then you've got to point it out, right? What you need to achieve is to grab the court's attention. In order to make them believe, you must create some tension. How dare the witness tell a lie while being on the stand? Look him in the eye and bang your desk loudly with your hand.
Hold it! You say you didn't go inside. How did you know the phone wasn't working?
You see, the phone was on the shelf next to the door. I never went inside. I didn't go any further than the doorway.
You're getting closer, right? Don't let him slither between your fingers.
Like I said, I found her exactly at 1 p.m. Found out her phone didn't work and went to the park to call.
You say you found her dead at 1 o'clock?
You've got it right. Congratulations.
What? I don't understand. This testimony clearly condemns your client.
Give me the chair!
Now this judge is rather old. His hearing's not so fine. He's slowly getting bald, and he needs some kind of sign. So go out on a limb, get his line to linger. Just focus and then point to him with your index finger.
Take that, Mr. Sawit! The autopsy report plainly states that the victim's time of death was 4 p.m. Care to explain this 3-hour gap?
I don't understand. I was absolutely sure it was 1 o'clock. 4? That's impossible. I heard the time.
Excuse me? How did you hear the time?
It must have been on the radio, television show that announced the
A
time.
TV show? During the blackout?
I must have made some kind of mistake. I remembered wrong. You're right. I didn't hear the time. I saw the time on the murder weapon, the clock.
Clock? Witness, the murder weapon was a statue, not
And again, you are wrong, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon is indeed a clock. It says the time allowed. I didn't bring it up because I thought it was an unnecessary
Mr.
detail.
Wright, it appears your argument is moot. Do you have anything to
And
add?
at last, this case finally begins to unwind. You know what to do, right?
Let's do it, Chief!
The witness is clearly lying to throw you off your case.
I'll find a contradiction to rub in his smug face.
And after you have made your careful selection,
I'll present
evidence
evidence
as your aid and yell,
yell! Objection!
So, would it be okay if I stayed here for a while?
You mean in this office?
Well, you know, I could work here.
Oh, so you're applying for a job. Well, okay. Let's see here. Do you have any prior experience working in a law firm?
Nope,
Did you perhaps study some of the techniques your sister used?
not a bit.
Do you have any knowledge at all about law?
None whatsoever.
Maya, I'm beginning to wonder what exactly you can do for me.
Oh, lots of things. I'll water Charlie each time you forget. I'd clean the litter if you had a pet. I'll keep the couch warm whenever you're gone. And sometimes I may mow the lawn.
What lawn?
Oh, I promise your remotes won't gather dust, and that your TV trays never will rust. I don't need gratitude or a high praise.
Great.
Just feed me 4 meals every day.
What? Objection!
And I'll be there when you need a friend. I'll be there to support you like a nice arrangement, ain't it?
Well...
Wait. That's not all I can provide. Check this out. With
I don't quite know what to say.
burglars are near. They'll stay away or else I'll make them pay. Cause nobody
But
fights like a
brotherhood's not my forte. As a caretaker, well, frankly, I'm weak. I had a goldfish that died in the week. My baby sat poorly way back in the day. They paid me to keep me away. I can't see myself undertaking this task, but please don't think I'm a jerk.
To have you around is the one thing I ask, and I've got a hunch this is going to work.
No, wait a minute.
What?
So you're gonna just be like setting up a tent in front of the fax machine or something?
Of course not. I'm not gonna sleep here. That'd just be weird. No, I'm just gonna be working here, using all your internet, eating all your food, watching all your
Oh,
TV.
that's not sweetening the deal.
Well, there is one other reason. This note. I found it in my stuff a couple weeks ago. Mia must have slipped it in the last time I visited.
If anything should happen, take care of Phoenix for me.
She must have known how risky her pursuit of Red White was.
So, she trusts us to watch out for each other?
Yeah. And the truth is, since Mia passed on, I felt all alone and torn up inside. All hope was lost and I had no shoulder to cry on. Then you came along and I feel like I'm home when you're at my side. I deeply needed someone that I could rely on. And if you're with me, we'll make it through anytime and anywhere. I can stay strong and I'll show that it's true, just as long as I know you'll be there.
Alright. Well, I'm convinced we can give it a shot. Make sure you give everything that you've got. So I'll see you every weekday at 9. Now just sign right here on the line. And I'll be there and I'll watch your back. Don't despair, I'm behind you.
If I need a tight one,
Or I need a brat, I'll know just where to find you.
thick or thin, we'll shine the light.
A defensive powerhouse pair. Okay, you win, you'll start tonight.
I knew that you would make it right.
For truth and justice we will fight. And for you, I will be there.
Now let's go celebrate with some burgers. Your treat?
Hallo, Spencer!
Was? Wie? Wo? Verzerrt? Verzerrt? Na, super fängt das heute an. Ich weiß nicht wieso. Ah. Ah. Besser? Jetzt? Hoffentlich? Vielleicht? Meine schönen, warmen Anfangsworte dahin. Ihr seid alle älter als ich, kann das sein? Jetzt ist gut. Jetzt, okay, dann weiß ich, woran es lag. Ich habe den GBA-Emulator minimiert. Und das hat gemacht anscheinend oder sowas. Interessant, gut zu wissen. Und deshalb starte ich die Spiele nicht vorher. Ja, wie geht's euch? Hey! Nachdem ich eure Ohren ein wenig gequält habe. Tut mir leid. Ich habe Maron vergessen, der liegt noch oben. Hol ich gleich. Chiara, liebe, Badger, liebe zurück. Ducky, ducky, ducky. Tja, ich hoffe, wir schaffen es heute, Nein, wir schaffen es heute nicht, diesen 5. Fall durchzuspielen. Ich habe das Gefühl, der geht nochmal 5 Stunden. Aber wir spielen weiter und ich kann mich auch an nichts mehr erinnern. Seufzt. Jacka, wir packen das. So, ein paar Sachen hier nochmal zumachen. Und dann versuchen wir das noch einmal, würde ich sagen. Ist das der richtige Bildschirm? Ja. Wunderschön. Du wirst unsere Ohren doch noch länger quälen. So. Und ihr müsst mir gleich sagen, ob das Spiel zu laut ist. Das kann nämlich gut sein. Aha, wunderschön. Chiara darf unsere Ohren quälen. Das klingt ziemlich laut, oder? Ich mach das mal einen Tacken leiser. Wieder so auf Monkey Island Niveau. Vom Savepoint. Zumindest ist es bei mir gerade ziemlich laut. Soll ich es leiser machen? Ist es zu laut? Hört man mich noch oder muss ich schreien? Ich muss auf eure Antwort warten. Ich kann das nämlich nicht abschätzen. Tut mir leid. Das letzte Mal war es immer so ein Stück Musik. Allerdings hatte ich das andere Mikro. Deswegen ist es alles so ein... Wir wissen es nicht. Ich warte auf eure Antwort. Und starre derweil Edgy ein wenig an. Hallo, schöner Mann. Musik etwas leiser, dich selbst lauter. Ach, zu laut, okay. Erstmal so. Ein Stück leiser oder 2 Stück leiser. Ich kann mich selber nämlich nicht lauter machen, das ist das Problem. Das ist schon auf Anschlag quasi. Ich sollte mir gleich so ein Fenster mit der Komplettlösung aufmachen. Ich sehe schon, komm. Ich muss da eh wieder hin. Nicht, dass ich keine Ahnung hätte, aber dieses Spiel macht es einem manchmal ziemlich schwierig. Findest du den VBA-Emulator? Nein, das ist der No GBA-Emulator. Aber sonst, Ton ist okay oder noch einen Tacken leiser? Hey, Eddie. Ach, ich hab mir alles angeguckt, ja. I wonder what he was writing before.
Hello, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look.
Are you crazy? Hedgeworth is sitting right there.
Just distract him. I'll check it out.
Mist, den kenne ich nicht, aber er ist immer noch recht laut. Okay. So, jetzt müsste es aber reichen, oder? Reicht es jetzt? Ich phase weiter.
Just distract him. I'll check it out.
Hey, Edgeworth! Is that Detective Gumshoe out there? Oh God. Out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Phoenix. Hold on. Let me see what this girl's doing, crawling around my feet. Wir müssen uns vorstellen, er sitzt da hinten ach, sieht man gar nicht. Er sitzt also an seinem Schreibtisch und alles klar, Emma. He didn't even look. Das war eine Lüge, die man nicht glauben kann, ne? Deshalb.
What? Letter of...
If you can't read, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation.
Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean...
I'm tired, Mr. Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died. Oh, Edgeworth.
But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault.
I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. The path I've walked hasn't been a just one. Kein gerechter Weg. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Kinda evil. I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something.
Motivationssprich... Ja, klar. This letter of resignation, I wonder if I can use it for anything? Einfach mal einstecken. Ich glaube, ich war noch mit Edward am Quatschen. Nein, das hab ich nicht gemacht. Okay, ja. Wir sind einen Schritt weiter sogar. Wuhu. Ich weiß trotzdem nicht. Vielleicht kann ich Ihnen das zeigen nochmal. Edward, sag mir was dazu. Oh, so viel Evidence. Check. Edgeworth Resignation Paper. Oh ja, ich kann mir das nochmal angucken hier. Dinge, die ihr nicht seht. Ist der untere Teil direkt mit drin? Ja, ist er. Tue ich ihn jetzt woanders hin? Sekunde. Ich muss euch kurz ausblenden. Dann kann ich das da wegschieben, da drunter. Und dann machen wir das da hoch. Und so. So, muss das gehen. 3 Minuten Gameplay und bereits jetzt bezweifle ich die Qualifikation der Rechtsverdreher an. Willkommen bei Phoenix Wright. So, ihr könnt alles sehen. Ja, gut.
Due to recent events, I hereby announce my resignation as a public prosecutor.
He really wrote a resignation letter.
Wow, even resigning Mr. Edgeworth is cool and concise. Still, it wasn't his fault. Someone has to be held responsible.
Also, someone has to be held responsible. That's how it is in the grown-up world.
Yeah, but that responsibility means nothing if you just quit.
Well, not everyone sees it that way.
To truly take responsibility, you should have to work the rest of your life for no pay.
Sometimes the grown-up world can be tough. So, auf der anderen Seite... Nö. Gut. Übrigens, das sind unsere ganzen Evidences, die wir so in der Tasche haben. Stuff. Lots of stuff. Wir sind hier schon seit gefühlt 10 Stunden am Spielen. Bei einem Fall. Ich mag den 5. Fall nicht. So. Das machen wir da. Tipp, weg. Ja. Gut. Ich dir noch irgendwas anderes zeigen, wozu du mir was sagen kannst vielleicht? Eventuell. Hey, Edgeworth.
This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office.
Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Stimmt. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy.
Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me.
Yes?
The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours.
Ja, deins ist kaputt. Yes, you're right. I remember now.
Remember what?
That was the official persecutor trophy used until that time. There's a story behind it.
Oh boy, a story. A story?
Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. Kannst du uns darüber mehr erzählen, Edgeworth? Ja. Oh, ich muss so fancy nehmen, das ist schwitzen. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard the story? Me? Sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you just tell it though, for Emma's sake? Ja, Phoenix. Very well. Long ago, in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd, which Beardo claimed could slice through any shield of armor. The second was a shield he claimed would withstand any weapon. Wait a minute.
Those claims contradict each other.
Hier kommt niemals aus eurer Haut. Very perspective. But then again, you've heard the story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very description of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus, the Chinese word for contradiction was born.
Jo, ich komme direkt zum Drama. Hallo, Herr Loven. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize...
Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words, but it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today.
That's funny.
If that's so, then why were you only given a shield?
You have to ask Chief Gant. It's a mockery. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant. Him again. Oh, ich muss mal mit. Ich packe schon mal die Liste vorzeitig heraus. Wenn wir wieder mit ihm reden, wird er bestimmt wieder anmerken, oh, anyone swimming? Schatz, ich bin wieder zu Hause. Hallo, Dolly. So. Kingdom Prosecutors Trophy updated in the court record. Danke. Gut. Können wir dir noch was zeigen, Edgy? Autopsy Report. Ich glaube, so weit war nichts mehr, oder? Dark Killings. Hast du was dazu zu sagen? Nope. Right, please. I'm the prosecutor on this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea. No? I pass on the tea, but tell me about the case.
Mr. Wright, Mr. Edgeworth just told you no in a very stylish manner.
Whose side are you on anyways? Maybe if I just show him my best evidence, I can get some reaction out of him. In meiner Hose. Was? Nein. Nein, okay, same thing. Blablabla. Ich glaube, das war alles, was wir kriegen. Noch was über die Letter of Resignation. They say, where there's smoke, there's fire. Apparently, I was so caught up in the smoke, I lost sight of the truth. Edgeworth. The others are right. I have no right to serve as a prosecutor.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you were only doing your job.
Ich habe schon wieder völlig vergessen, warum. Das ist alles so lange her. I always make my own decisions about what I can and cannot do. Ich hab irgendwas gemacht, was jemand anders gesagt hat, soll er tun und dann dein Stream laggt wieder. Kann ich nichts für, tut mir leid. Ich habe keine Frame Drops, das liegt nicht an mir anscheinend. Da liegt am Bridge. Oder an deinem Bett. That hasn't changed. Forgiving myself is something I cannot do. Uh-oh, I think it's yours. Yep, it's the right place. You have to do something. Yeah, I wonder if I can use it for anything. Okay. Wir können das mal ganz schön zeigen. Mal gucken, was er dazu sagt. 24. Februar. Prosecutor's Office Underground Parking Lot. Excuse me? Ah, natürlich sie.
Excuse me, would either of you care for a quarter-pound of roast beef?
Oh, lecker. Miss Starr! I guess she's out of lunches.
You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's milk to discover me.
That's awkward.
Still, I never thought I'd reach out digging up that case from 2 years ago.
Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence.
Aren't you forgetting something? No? That little scene I happened to witness?
Oh yeah. The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife.
No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw.
Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Miss Starr's hatred towards Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. More talking. Ich hoffe, das ist eine Sekunde. Hashtag Stop. Oh, das waren mehr Socken, als ich wollte. Ah! 2 reichen, danke.
Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget.
Sekunde.
We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jack Marshall, though. Must have been
Going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death?
They were close, those two.
After Neil died, something took over Jake.
He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate.
Her?
Lana? Lana Sky. My sister? They're in love. The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were lit by that legendary duo.
Lana and Chief Gant.
Lana and Chief Gant. That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we're so shocked over how it turned out.
You mean with the forging of the evidence?
Don't get me wrong. Joe Dark got what he deserved.
Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated.
Items our team never found would suddenly appear while other items were kept secret.
But you didn't have proof anything illegal was done?
I'm proof enough of what happened.
After that case, all of us, save Goodman, were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation.
Then Lana Sky transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor.
Han kom in sin väck.
Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana's sky was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter.
She was being used?
Damon Gant and Lana Sky. 2 years ago, Gant was chief detective and Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal.
His magnetism?
By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled.
Incredible evidence?
You mean... Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him though.
I think she's talking about the forged evidence.
Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included.
I was a fool, really. Mit Frisuren könnte man die Leute auch Kindergartenspieler sein. Ja, so ein paar von denen, ja.
She hated anything crooked and always reached out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned with Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Star. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her.
Why did she have to turn so cold after that? Aber du selbst. Ach, Emma. Alles wird wieder gut.
Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and that no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office.
What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred?
If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along.
But how could he control Lana?
I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude. There must have been a reason for a change. At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Star. You listen to me, Rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I.
Tut mir leid, ich weiß nicht ganz, wie ich deinen Namen aussprechen soll, aber auf jeden Fall hallo. Gut. Kann ich damit jetzt mal zu Lana gehen und fragen? Wohl nicht, oder? Nope. Okay. Tja. Oh, komm schon, Moment. Oh, you're back! You're still here? I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ.
You're a DJ as well?
If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey, not disc jockey.
Oh, that DJ.
I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no.
Huh?
I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. I'd be my neck on the line. It'd be my neck on the line. That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there.
There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind.
Edgy. Schieben. Ja. Hey, Gumshoe. Ich hab da was von Edgy, was du vielleicht sehen solltest. What's this crumpled piece of paper? No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious! Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they've pushed him this far.
Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible.
At first I thought he was as cold as ice. But now I know different. Think wie ein Songtext. He trusted us detectives to provide him with the sound evidence. But we betrayed him. Achso, weil er die falschen Evidence abgelegt hat. Ah, ich erinnere mich.
Detective.
That's it. I've made up my mind.
But
Here, take my ID card. We can't do that if someone found out.
they wouldn't let us off the hook with another lost item report.
Okay, it's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Miss Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated.
What?
So, at least let me do this. For Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Alright, detective. Thank you. Swiftly tucked into the pocket. Gut. Dann können wir jetzt ins Büro gehen, nicht wahr? Chief's Office. Police Department. Chief's Office.
Here goes, Mr. Wright. Open sesame! If anyone finds us now,
Detective Gumshoe's a goner. Ugh. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Ah! Putz.
sorry I slapped you.
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. Emma, that's not scientific. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah, Detective Gumshoe! Felix, you're slow. What are you doing, sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too. Swine, lieber. If you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Crumpled ID card in pocket. Oops. Keine gute Idee. Hey, don't do that to my card! Oops. Hier. So. Gott, kennt das noch jemand? Der Card Crusher? Das war meine Cam-Bedeckung. I hardly ever get a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now.
We're all in this together.
You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Oh, come on, let's see what we can find out. I've got a bad feeling about this. Oh yeah. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's?
Yes, that's why I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Is anyone using it now?
No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. That's a strange reason to leave it here. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see.
So, ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk?
No one except Chief Gant and the clean lady, of course, who's in here every morning. Should have leave John Ashing. Ooh! Was? Den Schatten, Shadow. The clean lady who's here each morning.
Still, 2 years have passed
Since that incident, can't possibly be any clues remaining. Kerl, du bist immer noch so leise und die Musik zu laut. Das sei. Gut, dass du mir das jetzt sagst, Draver. Schreiber!
Can I ask you something?
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SR9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it?
What do you ask?
Schon ziemlich am Anfang. Ja, aber... Es war nicht abzuschätzen, zu welchem Zeitpunkt das jetzt war für mich mit den, keine Ahnung, 30 Sekunden Verzögerung oder sowas.
Why do you ask?
You don't think... Nah, you wouldn't be. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay, now then, let's look around a little bit more. Hey, hold on, not so fast, buddy.
Huh? What is it?
When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bubbling you, pal. You don't just let it go at all. Sorry, this guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you?
What? Yeah, Mr. Wright, what do we think of him?
Chief Gant. So, it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's the best I don't divulge my feelings yet. There he goes, ignoring me again. Yep, sorry. I need to examine this thing first. Ich werde heute mal ein bisschen ruhiger sein, also ich sollte es immer tun.
Okay, wenn du müde bist, dann schlaf ruhig.
Oder stöß ruhig, wie du möchtest.
Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk.
Ob irgendwas kompensiert? Speaking of that, when we were here earlier... Oh Gott, wie habe ich den gesprochen? Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. Gucken wir mal da.
I wonder what he was reading.
This looks like a list of evidence used in a case.
A list of evidence?
In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this.
Hey, look at the case name.
Huh? SL9 incident? I wonder what this is doing here. Hold on, detective. What did you say? I said, I wonder what... No, about the evidence lists.
Normally they're twice as long?
That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. A half-sized list of evidence. That list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long.
What would the other half of the list be doing here?
So, es gibt nur eine einzige Liste. Teil.
I knew it! The chief must be hiding something about that case.
It would appear so. Eingesteckt. Dankeschön. Eine Statue. This is the real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons? Sure is, pal. Chief doesn't care for imitations. First the pipe organ, now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it, I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes. You don't have any taxes to pay. Shh! Careful what you say. Who knows? The chief may be hiding in this armor as we speak. I don't think he'd fit there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out. Cut it out! You guys don't know how scary that guy can be. Das stimmt wohl. I'm safe. Oh nein, aber umdenken, dann Verbesserung schon mal im Voraus. Ganz viele Heiltränke schmeißen. Die Formulierung mit dem Magen, dass ich ein bisschen geschlafen habe. Tee habe ich nicht mehr verblüfft. Ja, dann schlaf dich weiter aus und tu eine Wärmflasche und sowas drauf, falls es hilft. Trink einen Tee. This is a safe, isn't it? Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so. It sounds safe. It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it. A 7-digit number. I think I might just know what it is. Input number, don't touch it. Do it. Do you know what this is? I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want to try my birth date. It's... No. Muss ich das machen? I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Wahrscheinlich ist es seine... ging das denn? ID card, check. 77777777. Probably. Here goes nothing. 77777777. Ups. Access granted. Doch, yes. Chaka. Ah, es ist ein ziemlich einfacher Code. Might as well be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bingo. What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? 77777777. The final ID card number on that record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean 7777777777? That ID number? I think you're 1 7 shy this time. Ah, der Witz wird auch nicht alt. This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gan's ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside? Yep. Let's do this. Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away? Look, it's a shard from a broken cup? This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's something else in here too. What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth. This is a handprint, isn't it? Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design? No gumshoe? I don't think so. Oh, well, it was just a thought. And that... is that it? This is all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now. Ich mag Gumshoe. Ich auch. A piece of cloth with a handprint on it, and a broken shard from a cup. They look like pieces of evidence. But unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Right, now I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SL9 incident? Come on! There's gotta be something we can show the detective. Yep, können wir. Gumshoe hat seine Marke sicher aus der Cornflakes-Packung. Erstmal diesen Tisch angucken.
This was Lana's desk. I'm sure it's tidy. Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner.
Prost. Ich hab mich eingebaut.
There's not even any dust
On it. Looks like someone's still keeping it clean.
Does Lana ever come back here?
No. Chief Gan was keeping clean in memory of their partnership. They were the stuff legendary made of.
Does he keep it in memory of her or in memory of the crime? This was taken on that day 2 years ago.
The day Joe Dog ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma. After receiving his award trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here and went along with the Chief Grant to question Dark. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later. Gee, you think?
These shelves are almost empty.
Lana must have cleaned them out when she transferred over to the prosecutor's office.
There's a small picture frame on the left shelf. Hey! This is when Lana and I went to that theme park.
Das hat sie da gelassen? Das ist gemein. Ich glaube eher, dass dieser hypernervöse Mieke seine Marke da raus hat. Anders kann ich mir das nicht erklären, wie der Polizist werden konnte. Why would you say that, sir? The Chief's organ sure is a sight to behold. Occasionally, we hear him playing it from the Criminal Affairs Department. That's on the 2nd floor, and this is the 15th! When a detective screws up, the chief calls him to his office and makes him listen to the organ for hours.
What's so bad about that? Music soothes the soul.
After that, the detective can't hear anything for days except for the ringing in his ears.
So it's an instrument of punishment, literally. But aren't the chief's ears affected?
He never listens to anyone anyway. That's beside the point. Sagen wir erstmal Kampfschuh. Wo ist das Ding denn? Haben wir das noch? Ich glaube irgendwo nämlich eigentlich. Haben wir das nicht mehr? Wir haben noch extra diese Vase da zusammengesetzt. Wo ist die denn hin? Da ist sie. Unstable jar. Bitteschön.
Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar?
All of us put that back together. Oh, those were the days. Das war gestern, vorgestern.
It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Wasn't this piece of jar evidence from that case?
That's right. One of the shards had an SR9 incident sticker on it.
Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found?
You mean this one that was in the safe?
Yes, that one. That was in the safe.
Aha! And the penny drops. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. The bells of Notre Dame. Let's see if it fits. Assemble fragments. Yep. Here, let me see that chart. I'll take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rocky can do.
Mr. Wright, here's some glue.
Thanks. If I can piece this together again. Prove, Mr. Chief, that I'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. Drehen, 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 so rum. Plupp. Tada! There! It fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe.
In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But...
Hey guys, get a load of this! What is it? This piece you just attached. It's different from the others. One of these things is not like the others. One of these things just doesn't belong. Karamell in Amerika. Lecker, lecker. Oh, es schreibt irgendwas auf Paint.
there's a reddish line on it.
A reddish line. That's blood. Nicht nach aller Zeit noch so hell. I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe? Tja, schauen wir uns doch nochmal richtig an, oder? Nochmal. Check. Muss ich diesen Stream bald auf ab 18 taggen, wegen eurer Kommentare? Lolli? Verdammt! Ich hab das doch auf Abwesen gestellt. Beschäftigt so.
Hey, look here. It's hard to make out, but there's a dark red stain here.
Oh, sorry. Blub.
Looks like blood. This piece the chief has is different though. The blood stains on the other piece are just spots. But this one's a line. That is odd.
Da stand bestimmt mal was drauf. Ich muss mal kurz hier. Don't show aus. Ich weiß die Lösung, okay, die Klappe. Brav. Brav. So, Kinder, die Nacht. Ich ziehe mal alleine, brauche meinen Schüler schlafen. Dann sind sie schönen Abend noch. Schönen guten Abend, also schönen guten Abend, ja. Schlaf schön. Angry with the Universe. Hab einen schönen Abend, gute Nacht und danke, dass du da warst. Und danke für den Host. Und ich weiß auch, dass das Crims mich immer noch hostet. Danke auch dafür. Aber bla, so. Talk. Jo, nach dem geht der. Das andere Ding, was hat er denn da noch gehabt? Ich hab schon vergessen, was das andere war. Achso, die kann man alle mal angucken. Oder auch nicht. Auf der Rückseite ist was, das ist ja krass. Tada! Käse-Nachos auf der Nacht. Oh, lecker! Oh. Tada!
I wonder what this is. It looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here. What is it? Did you find something? I can't make it out. I'd better keep quiet about it for now.
Das sieht ziemlich offensichtlich aus, Phoenix.
Huh? Oh! No, it's nothing. Why are your eyes moving about like that, Mr. Wright?
I'd better not forget about this picture. Warum sagst du sie denn nicht gleich? Depp. Zwischenmenschliches. Menschen, i.
Bäh. That's what the chief was reading before, isn't it? You know, when we first came in here?
Yeah, it looks like he was right. Like the right side of the form's been torn off.
So was the address. This really was only half of the whole thing.
Something else is bugging me. More than that. Take a look at the back of that form, pal. Back. I did that. Yep. Ich hab's gesehen und ich darf es niemandem zeigen und sagen. Aber danke für den Tipp. feel a lot better now that the jar's complete.
But it only raises another question. What was a piece of it doing in the chief's safe?
More importantly, why wasn't there any money in there? Isn't that what saves are for anyway? I have a feeling the outcome of tomorrow's trial just might hinge on this. Gut. I've been studying up on those files. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. Two things. People are accusing him of injustice. I for one ain't buying it, pal.
Looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth?
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal while it was going on, you know? After all, a serial killer was on the loose.
But Lana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Dark guilty.
Weiter. Was war das andere, was da war? Ich hab's schon wieder vergessen. Das ist safe, isn't it? Safe, ja. You say so. Oh, ich kann nicht mal reingucken. Ja, ist sehr glorreich.
Wow, look at this.
Ja. Drawer, a list of the evidence from this one.
Mr. Edgeworth had the other half of that list, yep. What would this list be doing here? Let me take a look.
Soll ich das nochmal angucken jetzt? Wo mir gesagt wurde, dass ich das angucken soll? Nicht, dass ich es schon getan hätte. Check. So, der ist was anderes. I wonder what this is. Ja.
What is it? Did you find something?
Can't make it out. Gotta keep quiet about it. Nothing. Okay, your eyes will be better enough. Gut, dann nicht halt, ne? Wenn du meinst. Das kann ich mir dabei nicht angucken. Alles andere ist unwichtig. Was umschauen vielleicht, etwas übersehen. Das und das und das. Safe. Look at that giant window. Makes you want to crash right through it and jump outside. Ich verstehe langsam, warum die Reihe Phoenix Wright heißt. Phoenix Wrong on so many levels wäre einfach so lang gewesen. Deswegen heißt es ja auch Ace Attorney. This is the 15th floor. I know, I was just saying. Saying what? Ever since making a detective, I've always dreamed about doing something like that. Was hast du für den Film gesehen, Gumshoe?
Note to self, Detective Gumshoe has a lot of dreams.
So long as he doesn't go crashing through that window.
When he gets fired? Don't say that.
Vergiss nicht, dass Felix hier noch mehr oder weniger in seinen Anfängen ist. Ja, stimmt, das ist immer noch sein 5. Fall bis jetzt. Ja, Lana's Desk ist immer noch tidy. No, she doesn't come back. Am I missing something? Probably. Ich komme gleich wieder. Ah. Ich kenne die Reihe nicht. Ich komme ja heute erstmals mit dem Gameplay in Berührung. Ja, tut mir leid. Gumshoe, nee, Edgy. Kann ich dir die andere Seite der Liste zeigen und wir fügen das mal zusammen aus Interesse? Nein, natürlich nicht. Es ist überhaupt nicht wichtig, dass ich die andere Hälfte der Liste habe. Kannst du mir was dazu sagen? Nein. Edgy, du bist nutzlos. Ups, das wollte ich nicht. Okay. Ja, ich sollte mal schlafen und wieder voller Elan Rossmanns Regale zu bestimmen. Viel Erfolg noch, du Bademantel, und viel Spaß beim Rest. Gute Nacht, Robin, schlaf gut. Danke, dass du da warst. Dann kommen wir mal zurück. Badewannenkapitän, nicht Bademantelkapitän. Aber ich habe vorhin noch einen Bademantel getragen und das sieht auch ein bisschen aus wie ein Bademantel. Hey Lana, was kannst du mir dazu erzählen? Attorneys and prosecutors have no business showing evidence outside court. It's a taboo, especially when the interests of both parties are involved. She really means it. Du bist immer noch mein Klient. Lana. Ich glaube, 50% von Emmas Dialog besteht aus Lana, Mr. Edgeworth. Sigh. Nope. Ah, ich sehe schon, ich muss wieder zurück ins Büro. Alles klar. Da bin ich ja noch nicht fertig. Übrigens. Achso. Jetzt bin ich nicht draußen. Na gut. This guy almost made us lose the case today. What are you talking about? He was guarding the bloodstain on that evidence locker with his life. That's more than you can say about most officers nowadays. It would have saved us a lot of trouble if we hadn't guarded it so well. I have to admit, he's right though. Thanks to the Blue Badger, we were able to prove another possibility today. The possibility that another murder took place prior to 5:15 p.m. Das ist nämlich der Blue Badger. Sorry. Nein, ich habe gerade keine Ahnung. Ich will mich so aufschlagen. Wie noch rumdüppeln. Das Ding ist lang genug. Da darf man sich ein wenig Hilfe holen. Ich habe sonst keine Hilfe gehabt in den anderen Fällen. Nur nachgeguckt zur Sicherheit. Wo sind wir denn hier eigentlich? 3. Ah, da sind wir. Ach, Tatsache. Tschüss. So weit war ich gar nicht. Da, hier bin ich, alles klar. Ah, ich muss... alles klar. Ich weiß, was ich tun muss. Alles klar. Das habe ich völlig vergessen, was ich zu machen kann. Wir können nämlich über mein Ohr sprayen. Aha! Das ging einfach. So ein klitzekleines Dingens, was ich vermisse. Ja. Ja. So. Wow! This must have been covered in blood. Is this from that incident? It must be, when Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. Niemand sauber gemacht? Ich meine, nach 2 Jahren sollte doch keine Blutrückstände mehr da sein, oder? 2 years have passed, so the reaction's kind of dull. So a murder really did take place here. Gut, haben wir das. Woanders? La 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 la. Na gut. man kommt doch irgendwie nicht wirklich auf die Idee, dass man das machen soll. So, nee, Quatsch, nicht Präsent. Fingerprint Set. Präsent. Warum muss ich das eine präsenten und das andere reicht zum Code Record? Das macht keinen Sinn. Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints?
That's a great idea, Detective.
Alright, go to town. Sheesh. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead! Take my fingerprints! It's not your fingerprints we want to take. Huh? Come on! Come on! This isn't the time for jokes! We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe! Ach so. Oh! I knew that! That's what it was. The one with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh! Where's your sense of humor?
Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth, then once we been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away. Oh, yeah, sorry.
What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Alright, let's get this over with. Schau mal den Daumen hier. God damn it, Gumshoe. God damn it, Napper. Ah, meine Stimme wird schon von Gumshoe wieder ganz rau und Sekunde, ich muss euch kurz muten, sonst puste ich euch ins Mikro. I'll give it my best shot.
That kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it?
Nope. But it doesn't look like we'll get a clearer result from this print.
Okay, let's try a different finger then.
Nehmen wir mal den Mittelfinger. Taking fingerprints, fingerprints, fingerprints. Und bis gleich. Der ist doch schon gewonnen. Was? Ups, das wollte ich gar nicht. Ah, compare to... Well... Magic. Was war das? Hallo, hallo Naomi. Was war was? Ein wunderschöner Smiley. Damn Badger stealing our evidence. Ach so, damn Badgers. Es ist nicht Gans, es ist nicht Meekins, es ist nicht Jakes. Es könnte Goodman sein. Nein, es ist nicht. Das war falsch. Nope. No matches found. Das war der falsche.
No, that doesn't match.
It looks like we're out of clues this time. Yep. But it was inside the chief's safe. Right, along with that chart. So that means it's got to have something to do with that incident. The one that happened right in here, in this room. She's right. We should check the fingerprints of everyone who was in here that day. Oh, I see it. There's a higher power that worked here. You just gotta have faith. Dann jemand anders. Okay, das war Goodman. Gumshoe. Lana. Oh! Cookie da! Pusten. Ja, ich muss pusten. Weil ich nämlich Fingerabdrücke nehme. No. How can this be? What are Emmer's fingerprints doing here?
Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? Yours? Huh. It seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Aw, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Drake's prints. Psst. Hey you, over here. What's going on here? What are that kid's prints doing inside the chief's safe?
Ist der Doofkopf hier oder wie?
Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now. Here, maybe you should hold on to this.
Flip. Well, was I any help?
Of course! Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence.
No, that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right? You in the coat. Chief Cunt! We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in science. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run right into a pole. Just when I thought of a certain detective. Just then. Do you mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir. Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But sir! Now get out! Yes, sir! We'll be on our way to then. Wait, you, the one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet.
Me, sir?
Das heißt, statt zu sagen, das Mädchen? I'd like a word with you.
But sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet.
You with the spiky hair, you're free to go.
Is that right?
Sorry, Emma. Look, pal! If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. Anyone in for swimming? But no! You just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you?
I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired.
Yeah, but if I knew I'd be like this, I never would have said that. Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. It's hard to believe anyone could keep quiet about it all this time. Anyway, you listen to me. I'm gonna try to smooth things from over with the chief again. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Emma. After that, I heard from Emma. She said that the police want to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. They got your sister. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. Who it is you're hiding behind those words. Me, I did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth?
once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Big-headed is the term used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. More talking. Keep it quiet. Ich trinke einen Schluck. Warmer Tee wäre besser als kalte Milch, aber naja. I have to admit I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insist you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think you're afraid of. I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly so frightened of. What is the person's name? So, there we go. Take that! Well, Miss Sky? Yep. Mr. Wright, you are addressing the Chief Prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it. She's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about the circumstances? Oh, andersrum, egal. We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is responsible, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it though that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who would have possibly investigated that evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also another, David Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. Take that! I just found this in a safe in the Chief's office. This is a jar piece and the strip of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate. The murder of Detective Goodman. Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected. Despite that what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk was broken. I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body.
Murder weapon. You mean Edgeworth's knife?
No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife.
That would be Edgeworth's knife.
That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. So I ended up cutting my hand. And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand? Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in.
Miss Starr.
Why did you need to hide this Dark's knife so badly?
Ich mache heute so bis 12 wahrscheinlich, weil ich komme danach. Hier ist dann meine Stimme am Ende. Gucken wir mal, wie weit wir kommen, nicht? Jetzt schon ein gutes Stück weiter als vorher. Ich habe nichts Rechtes getan, euer Ehren. Es ist blitzbesser gelaufen. 37 Mal! And then he ran into my knife. He ran into my knife 10 times. Karl, das tötet Leute!
It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible.
So you hid Dark's knife.
The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that.
Oh, das wusste ich nicht.
So
you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it in Edgeworth's exhaust pipe.
Right. Then I called my sister
To tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my mind.
You ask Emma. I didn't want anyone to force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day.
A bad feeling?
The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall.
Hey, Reiter, ho, Reiter. Oh, Mann. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him?
The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own.
Oh, you mean not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. Oh, easy like this. He disguised himself as Officer Goodman and tried to steal the evidence.
He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared.
So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room?
I'm afraid that's all I can tell you.
But Lana...
You've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now, please,
don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've
got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. To be continued. Ah. 25. Februar, 9:47 Uhr. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. C. Nochmal speichern, bevor mir das Spiel wieder abschmiert. Wir machen eine kleine Pause. Sagen wir bis 10 vor, 5 Minuten. Für Toilette, ich muss was trinken und alles mögliche. Sonst kann ich das nicht mehr lange machen. Es ist anstrengend. Ah, ich weiß, warum man Stimmübungen macht. Und dann sehen wir uns gleich wieder. Bis gleich.
Bright with a pale blue light and trouble is nearby. Only one man fights for what is right, the steel samurai. And all heroes know when it's time to go and face their destined fate. For who should show but his deadly foe, the evil magistrate. I saw it with my own 2 eyes and it was really great.
I'm to understand that you're a big samurai fan. You watch the show every a hand in being a hero to this man. The truth is the only thing I seek.
With a samurai punch and a samurai slash, that battle it caused a deafening crash. He dodged a strike with a samurai dash that fully paid for his sins. With a samurai slap and a samurai chop, that samurai pain just never stopped. He came on top of the magistrate drop, 'cause the samurai always wins.
Right, the truth is this fragile youth is sure of that ruthless attack. So stop pressing him, hoping that he'll crack.
I'm trying to keep the steel samurai out of jail. Please, if you could, try to go into more detail.
What I saw that day was a grim display of evil man's demise. And I stood nearby when the samurai shot lasers from his eyes.
Wait, what?
And he flew up high, reaching to the sky, a bright metallic sheen. The hero chose to strike a pose, and then he flew the scene. It was just like an episode 217.
Objection! Cody, what sort of murderer uses a samurai slap? Or for that matter, shoots lasers from his eyes?
Objection! Clearly the witness merely has an active imagination.
Objection! You know as well as I do that the witness was being vague, Edgeworth. He still hasn't even testified to seeing the finishing stab. And I think I know why. Cody, you have shown you've got a camera of your own. You never miss any shots. If you could just show a picture of the killing blow, it could help us connect the dots. 'Cause you keep all pictures in an album titled Path to Glory, with a killing blow from every show to tell a hero story. And I'll tell you this, something is amiss, for there's no reason or rhyme. And for what it's worth, no way on earth did Cody see this crime. Witness, testify, this is the last time.
Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
With a samurai kick and a samurai punch and a samurai triple snip and scrunch, the samurai pinch and spark by cheap with no matter the cost. With a samurai chop and a samurai slap, the magistrate felt the sickening snap and he was about to take her nap. The samurai's never lost. The samurai dodge and the samurai block and the samurai ultra tough headlock. The bullet trick could only not break the samurai dead with so few drugs and they wiped out waves and the magistrate's thugs up against his tower. They released like bugs. The fence was so intense. And when he said no village and rest behind the ones wearing it, 50 guns and 50 something and got their
Objection!
Order! Order!
What can I say? All the signs point to the truth. My perfect guilty record, forever tainted thanks to you. This court is meant to stop the ones who bring darkness to the light. It's natural, no miracle, for this court to make it right. You listen to me. These lingering doubts you've burdened me with serve no useful purpose. Don't ever show your face to me again. That's what I came here to say. Guilty of blaming an innocent man. Is that the curse of the prosecutor? Before I faced him, I won every case. But now I have been shamed and disgraced. Vasquez was framing an innocent man. I took the bait, hook, line, sinker. I was relentless in playing my cards. When and where did it all fall apart? After Wright sauntered in with that grin on his face, though he bluffed the whole time, somehow he won the case. And it pains me how one man so new to the law can incense me so much that it breaks my resolve. But I know, yes, I know, even though I've fallen, I'll rise again. I admit that I've made mistakes. A new day will soon begin, and I swear that I will win. Yes, I'll do whatever it takes. Staunchly I'll ascend to the top again. I won't let another go free. I know this is not the end. I feel a new fire within, a personal renaissance in me. Every criminal earns his punishment, so I've always done all I could. What's the harm in filling in the blanks to some extent, if it's for the greater good? Indeed, if the defendant is clearly guilty, then my methods, however extreme, should not be an issue at all. It's my civic duty. But is that my true motivation? Or do I do it for myself as well? Either way, no matter how many cases I win, it won't change the past. One lingering thought fills my mind, burdening me with anxiety. Have I indeed been so blinded with pretentious piety? For if I cheat in the courts, can I say with a straight face that I'm a better man than the sorts whom I prosecute every case? But no one should go through what I've been through, ever. Therefore, it's my role, my obligation, my responsibility to condemn. Frankly, some may doubt cases I have won. I will still live by my decree that I'll do what must be done to capture the wicked ones, for this is demanded of me. I have gone above and beyond at times. Justice requires the extra mile. I sense Right thinks I am blind. If I peered into his mind, then I would be the one who is on trial. Right, you fool! Can't you understand? I'm not a monster, I'm just a man. Despite my objections and my commands, that crime shall pay is my only demand. And while you search for contradictions, thinking I just want convictions, you can't comprehend just why I take my stand. I fight for truth. I fight for justice, so that all families can safely sleep at night. To stop criminalization, I pursue incarceration for security. I'll fight you until your spirit breaks. I'll fight, no matter what is at stake. Not fame, not glory, but this courtroom purgatory is the reason I fight. And we'll meet again, Phoenix Wright.
Da sind wir wieder. Moment, das ist das Richtige. Oh, ich muss das nochmal neu starten. Lalala. Damit er das Safe Game auch speichert. Ich musste schon einmal 2 Stunden nachspielen, das war nicht witzig. So. Ich habe das auch jetzt mal etwas leiser gemacht. Noch leiser. Ich hoffe, es geht jetzt. Also wieder die ursprüngliche Lautstärke. Das ist sehr seltsam, weil Phoenix Wright ist so... Ich brauche genau 2 Balken. Und Monkey Island war nur 2 Balken weg. Hup. Na dann, auf geht's, weiter geht's. Auf geht's, ab geht's, 3 Tag wach. So. This is the defendant lobby, alright? But there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma for that sake? For that matter. It almost seems as if... mein Drückflausch. Something's been happening behind the scenes. Das dachte ich mir doch erst. Edgeworth! Fuck, ist das laut. Mara, darf ich mitgucken? Ich wusste, ich hab was vergessen. Moment. Da falle ich erstmal fast die Leiter runter. Super.
Ja. Yuchi.
Nee, nicht Yuchi. Doch, Yuchi. Yuchi. Aha. Muss mir noch an den Namen gewöhnen. Na, komm her. So. Weiter geht's. Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 777777777 ID card is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. Ja, besonders, ja, Edgeworth wird das vor dir herausgefunden haben. Phoenix. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt in this ID record. If that... Moment. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. Confirmed. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True? Not yet. In any evidence... ich kann nicht mehr lesen. Ich kann nicht lesen. any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling on the defendant 5 minutes after the trial starts. Lana will be found guilty.
But she didn't do it!
I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Oh mein Gott, wir arbeiten zusammen!
Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her.
The truth?
Everything goes back to the SL9 incident.
Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you.
If she's found guilty, you lose your only chance to find out what really happened.
I'll think about it. See you in court, right? Bis gleich, Edgy.
This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now.
Ah nee, das geht nicht. Ich brauche das Tablet.
Nee.
Naja. Sitzt hier.
10 Uhr.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Freue ich mich auf den nächsten Teil. Normally, it is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gant? Der ist nicht da. Ups, er erscheint. Morning, folks! How's everyone doing? Hey, Edgy. Back to the pool yet? Pool reference. Ich habe eine Liste. Jedes Mal, wenn er Schwimmen oder Pools erwähnt. Ich verstehe nicht, was er meint, aber hey, er sagt das ziemlich oft. Wo bist du, Liste? Da. Ah, der Swimming Counter. Nein, nein, nein. Da. Und die Nummer 5. Been back to the pool yet?
No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work.
Ah, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. You don't mind me asking, Chief. Exactly what is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. What's all this about, defendant?
I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
Huh?
I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st on this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office.
No, Lana!
You can't! Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services.
But Lana!
Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-presentation. The request is legally valid, although this is an kind of seltsame Situation. Indeed. It appears there's no further need to continue this trial. Danke. Even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening! It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Objection!
One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt.
Danke, Edgeworth.
Das hätte sie auch, ich meine, das hätten wir auch gleich an Tag 1 machen können dann. Dann hätten wir den ganzen Käse nicht gehabt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Ich wollte niesen, aber der Nieser kam nicht raus. Alles klar. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. What? Writing another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. Gesundheit, falls er doch noch kommt. Dankeschön. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. Edgy is not amused. Das war nun die Stelle, wo ich die meisten Kopftischmomente hatte. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first would like to change its first witness. To whom? As it fits as its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Sky. I request the court hears her testimony.
Hold it! Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue.
I don't care what you think, Miss Sky. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it.
Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant?
Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Sky, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Emma Sky. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister and I want to be a scientific investigator.
Du bist außerdem eine Schülerin. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
I'm sorry. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall these events one more time.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant?
Yes, it most certainly is. Wie wir auch am letzten Fall gesehen haben, dass auch ein Fall von vor 10, 15 Jahren wichtig sein kann. Das sind 2 Jahre doch gar nichts. Schweigt euch nicht an. Oh, well, okay then. You sure gave in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me. But I'll never forget what I saw that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Na mal los. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes, she was second in command under Chief Detective Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever. Yes, I remember. Chief Detective Gant and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day too. The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. And I promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. A man came running in and took me hostage. A man? Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic, because the elevator was going up. And he ran into Sky and Gant's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Neil Marshall rescued me. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were 2 people present during Dark's questioning. Detective Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Gant was there too. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark. When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then, but I'll never forget what I saw that instant. Can you tell us about that? Hallo Markus. Schön, dass du da bist. Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark, and just then the lights went out. The lights? It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out. Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right? Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. Hear more.
So, you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago.
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw.
Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
A picture?
Yes, I think she mentioned that before.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
Ask about the picture. This picture the witness drew, I believe, it has a very important meaning.
But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we edit this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost. Ich hab's gefunden. Ich hab's noch nicht gezeigt. Und zwar ist das hier.
Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you still insist on denying its existence? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold! This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over? Turn it... Ah! What's this? Yes. What is that?
Hey, that's it! That's the picture I drew!
Indeed! Two men appear to be wrestling here. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. And you can see the marks here. They were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious that what happened 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What? Order! Order! Would have thought the picture would have been drawn on the back of the list. That was handed to the detective in the questioning room. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor! You are right, Mr. Wright. Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see. Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask? Tremble, tremble. Sorry, Your Honor. Innerer Ausbruch. Eternal screaming. There is something drawn on the back of my list. This is that thing! That's that thing! That thing dancing in the evidence room. Me. Apparently, the head of criminal affairs used this for his blueprint. I guess he was out of scrap paper.
Very well. Witness, will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago? Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she saw that picture. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture was shown exactly... This picture shows exactly what I saw that instant. To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Cross-examination. Ow. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the detective team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Skye. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should still have been fresh in her mind. Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black? The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. Sie hat nur Shadow gesehen. So, at the time you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue? No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor. You were knocked to the floor? Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed. Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? After that, I must have fainted. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No, I'm sorry.
Objection!
The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? I'm not the bad guy here. Beide nicht die bösen Jungs. Anyway, this picture shows exactly what I saw that instant. Sorry for asking so many questions so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is the exact scene. It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives. Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. I'd better watch out, or he might find some way to cut my salary. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me. Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture? Huh? Oh, well, that's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind, and yet there's clearly a contradiction here. Is there? Ist das? Wo? Was? Gut, dass du das sagst. Autopsy report. Check. Name of the
deceased, Air Marshal, between where caused a single stab wound piercing heart and lung. Deceased died from bloodless under 10 minutes. Weapon found in the wound was missing tip. Yeah. Stabbed in the back. Oh, stabbed in the back. Died from the. Oh. Ah. Okay. Mr. fainted. This is the picture that shows exactly what I saw in instant. Ich glaube nicht. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report? Was soll ich denn jetzt genau anklicken? Den Typen oder the knife? Das sieht man ja auch. Okay. Das Messer ist schon kaputt. Vielleicht hat es einfach nur Kacke gezeichnet. The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. In fact, you don't even have to look closely to see that. But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too. If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body. Shame on me, aber will mir jemand grob das Spiel erklären? Puh. Los, Graver. Your move. It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dog was the murderer. Kann dir das bestimmt jetzt gerade mal eben aus dem Handschuh, aus der Ärmel geschüttet, besser und schneller erklären, wenn er so lieb ist. Anblicker. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
Objection!
Huh? Where could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Ah! What's the meaning of this? Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Aber dann wäre das Ding noch nicht im Rücken. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body, just as I said before. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right, but what does this mean? The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness' memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading on thin ice, White. All I'm saying is that this broken knife might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility? No. Ugh! Order! 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 Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. Hallo, Balkan! Schönen guten Abend. Wir haben leider noch eine halbe Stunde ungefähr. Aber schön, dass du da bist. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. Yeah. After receiving the King of Prosecutors award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. We just heard that. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? There is another one. Wahrscheinlich, ja. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Is that right? Ich glaube, ich bin mal wieder weg, oder? Ich habe keine Dropped Frames, aber kein... Ah, doch, da, wieder alles. So, okay. Never mind. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife. So, please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Team Gen photo. Check. Present. The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right there inside this picture. This is a picture of the ceremony. Sorry. This is a picture of the award ceremony. Aha! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the picture was not Joe Dark's knife. As we just did that. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood this award. Order! 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 Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. Wie oft ist das gekommen? As an award, he was given this broken shield and a broken knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. Wo hat er denn bitte schön? Das ist doch ein Award. Wie hat er denn bitte schön das... Never mind. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. But that can't be. Oh, why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutor Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean... Oh. This man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. Oh! But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Was wenn stimmt? Hold it! Wait, I remember now. I remember everything. The witness? Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please? His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back? No, the other one. There. I knew it. This picture
I'm the one who drew it.
What? You drew that?
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. All this time, I've been trying so hard to forget.
Ist das nicht der Blue Badger?
I must have locked this part away deep inside me. Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Skye? Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up and now the Blue Badger?
This should be interesting. Okay, Gray war anscheinend gar nicht da. Es geht darum, wir sind Phoenix Wright und wir müssen unsere Defendants, unsere Mandanten verteidigen halt. Und währenddessen Beweise sammeln und mit Leuten quatschen und so weiter. Und es ist halt so ein Graphic Novel quasi. So Graphic Novel Adventure quasi. Ja, das kommt hin. Ansonsten, Google ist ein Freund und Wikipedia auch.
When I saw that man raise his knife.
Testimony? Ja. Zeugenaussage. Vokabeln, die man lernt.
I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning and that's when I saw the Blue Badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
Blue Badger und Shadow in einem Satz. This was meant to happen. Ich sehe gerade das zum ersten Mal aufblinken.
Ding, ding, ding.
This is certainly most unusual.
Try impossible. The head detective of criminal affairs didn't even design him until this year. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, so well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Hold it! Stop, please! Don't pursue this any further!
Lana.
What is the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this! I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Skye. We've already come to this far. It's too late to turn back.
Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. Der Badger und Shadow, weißt du Bescheid.
When I saw that man raise his knife.
When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark?
Yes, at least I think
It was him. You think?
all I could really see were shadows.
The power outage was immediately preceded that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports.
So then you...
I panicked and rushed towards both of them.
Why would you do something so dangerous?
What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall.
Oh. Ich weiß, wohin das führt. Ich weiß es wieder. Only fanfiction. Please, write. No, just don't.
She seemed so convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife.
But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. When the Dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was, I've got to help Mr. Marshall. I think I knocked away the man with the knife.
Ja, dann ist Mr. Marshall sein wird. What do you mean, you think? It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur. In a matter of just a few seconds, Miss Sky was almost killed. Then she witnessed a murder about to take place. A little disorientation is only natural. I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with a knife. What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next? Just then, there was another flash of lightning. And that's when I saw the blue badger. Are you sure about this? Of course. See? I even drew a picture of him here. But the head detective of criminal affairs thought of this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite variable. I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him somewhere before. Now I finally remember. Oh, brother. Just when you thought that things had caused enough commotion. Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing? He wasn't dancing. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face with his winning smile and all? That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns. This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken. That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation? If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was. What was it that Emma saw when the lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger really? Just might know. The blue badger hadn't even been dreamed up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room. Mr. Wright! In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger look-alike. As unstable jar, nicht wahr? Yes, it was. Present. The mysterious blue badger was in fact this. But that's... what exactly is that? I believe it's some kind of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger. Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. Okay, here goes nothing. Ich kann es mal drehen, super. Nein. So ungefähr. Wie genau muss ich das machen? So kommt das doch gut hin, oder? Das muss es sein. Base of the bases. Ein bisschen runter. So sieht das gut aus. Ne? Ich hoffe, das ist richtig so. Ah, this isn't right. Okay. Gotta make it more like the badger. Allow me to remind the defenses. Ja, bla bla. Ja, ich mach ja schon. I've got to find just the right angle. Maybe I should rotate it vertically a bit more, or horizontally?
Come on, Mr. Wright, you can do it.
I've got to show them. Ja. Ich muss mal neu anfangen. 180 Grad. Move to the left. Down to the base of the base is visible. 180 Grad. Nein. 180 Grad. Ist aber auch eine gemeine Friemelarbeit, vor allem wenn du nicht weißt, was genau du haben willst. So. Besser? Immer noch nicht? Doch. Well... Is this a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny this star resemblance to the blue badger. No, it can't be. Hallo Idris, danke für den Host. Und hallo, die lieben Leute von Idris. Oh mein Gott. Dankeschön. Also, warte. Dankeschön. Oh mein Gott, wie cool. Jetzt muss ich doch noch länger machen. Ah, na gut. Kommt früh. Sorry, ich musste gerade noch nachgucken. Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger. Während du die ganze Zeit vom Blue Badger reden. Ja, also. Über mich, genau.
Witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this.
Immer diese Schleimer. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So that badger thing was actually just a jar. Holy shit, that's awesome. That doesn't change anything. Ich hoffe, ihr könnt alle Englisch.
I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything.
Indeed. Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? The location, the murder weapon, the murderer. The murder weapon, I'd say. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. Not only that, but she saw it at a very specific angle. Knowing this, where could she have seen this jar?
There.
The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on this day of the crime.
It's only a shelf in the office of Demon Gant.
But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself.
Yes. And it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired.
You see, the struggle between Doc and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office?
Yes.
Why would you do that? There's no reason.
Exactly.
Reden wir gerade nur im Kreis und über nichts Besonderes? Oder habe ich mich verklickt? Sag das doch.
there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through this trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
Nein. I finally figured it out. Gut, dass du es weißt, Phoenix. So, this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. Ich weiß, was passiert, aber ich weiß gerade nicht, was das mit dem Zusammenhang zu tun hat. Ups.
It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the jar? Now, tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
Wo stand sie vorher?
That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on,
So,
what would he have hit? Ah! The suit of armor holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword. Yes. Oh.
das Ding.
And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the prosecutor's award. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility? Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright, what's the matter?
If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Skye knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall, oops.
You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me?
Yep, that's fine.
No! I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented. Objection! What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Skye, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence?
Oh, oops, nein. I'm willing to bet you don't.
Oh, doch, haben wir.
Yes.
Um welchen Mordfall geht es jetzt eigentlich? Ich habe das Gefühl, es springt zwischen den Fällen hinterher. Ja, es geht im Moment um den vor 2 Jahren, damit wir dann den von den jetzigen aufklären können, weil ein gewisser Herr ja Dreck am Stecken hat. Man muss ihn irgendwie da reinziehen. Das ist kompliziert.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have
evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
We certainly can't get dead people to testify. Nicht ohne Maya, zumindest. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Huh. Touché, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. Somehow.
That's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
Warum fragen Sie mich das, wenn Edgeworth das angezettelt hat? I've got to get back to the court record. Ja, nun, da stand was drauf auf diesem Jar, was ihr gerade nicht sehen könnt. The dark red stains must be blood traces from the incident 2 years ago. Only the fragment found in Chief Kent's office still has lines remaining on it. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind. Ich fühle mich gerade wie Anton.
Aua, Kopf, aua. Die anderen Fälle waren ja Pillepalle dagegen.
Ja, eben. Das ist ein wenig gemein. Der wurde ja auch erst nach dem dritten Spiel geschrieben. Sollte in the evidence sein.
This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright! Will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer?
Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
Unstable jar. This is the message left by the deceased.
This is that blue badger from before, right? Oh, is this going to just speak the killer's name?
If that thing could, I'm sure it would.
Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar.
A message was left here, on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there is a line here, drawn in blood.
So, what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these dots, and the victim's message will become apparent.
No! Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make a letter. There's only one way, only one thing the victim would have written, given the circumstance, the murderer's name. Moment, Achtung, stopp. Ich jetzt einfach so. Mal nach Zahlen. Na, komm her. Das ist wunderschön geschrieben. Ah. Ja, sieht gut aus. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove his client's innocent. Da steht eindeutig Emma drauf. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. With paint. Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Of all people. She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took this victim's life was Emma Sky. Es war ein Unfall und sie war minderjährig, also zählt das nicht. Außer, natürlich, tut weh, aber ne? Kann man nicht ändern. Seaworthy, can't say I didn't warn you. Chief Gant. Do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dog was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Aber er war ein Serienmörder, also... Nur für diesen Fall war er unschuldig. Naja, was soll's. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. But Joe Dog really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Hallo. Warte, was? Essential? Cooler Name. Tess? 5 Tess Essential. Cool. Hallo, wie geht es dir? Nice to see a fellow feeling fried brand. Hi. Deutsch oder Englisch? Ich weiß nicht wieso, aber der Gang sieht für mich aus, als wäre der Arenaleiter bei Pokémon. Ja. Nice to have you here. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we aren't defenders of justice? What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. Tut mir leid, ich lerne Deutsch, es ist nicht so gut. Es ist schon sehr gut. Very good. Tut mir leid. They might have sinned. One innocent man to his death. How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Order! 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 The gravel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. To be continued. Und es ist kurz nach Mitternacht. Wuhu! Yes!
Als ob das Spiel das gewusst hätte. Aber freut mich, um dir zu sehen. Oder, was denn, Papa? Ich suche... Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. Freunde? Fans? What is F? Yeah, we speak English, otherwise we wouldn't be playing this game. It's okay. This is my problem, not yours. I hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Oh, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Deutsche Übertragung? I need to use German more. Ah, süß. Feel free to use any language you like, if it's German or English. We'll help you. You'll help us, probably. Dann schreibe ich in Deutsch. We're bilingual, yes. You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making our detective run all around while on duty. To top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Hat er das nicht schon mal gesagt? I take it Lana's having you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here! She asked me to give you this. She asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. What is it? Law? Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. Ist das Spiel jetzt kurz vorm Ende oder geht das noch? Kannst du noch mal 5 Stunden? Gefühlt ja. I'm sure you know the 2 rules of evidence law, don't you, right? Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The Chief. Ach, stimmt, ich kann das nicht mehr. Es ist schon spät. The Chief Prosecutor also wanted to give you a message. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Gant. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Securely slipped evidence law into pocket. Solche Taschen. Oder eine Aktentasche. Aber dann würde es nicht Pocket heißen. Doesn't look like that book'll do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the Chief Prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, Detective. Ah. Haven't you figured it out yet? Oh, ich muss was trinken. Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me, Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with the forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye found out she unwittingly caused a man's death, and now you're telling me you want to do more? You've gotta be kidding, pal! You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't go to Detective Goodman. Deshalb sind die hier. Ich liebe die Atmosphäre von dieser Übertragung. Which is why I'm not gonna follow it. Freut mich, dass es dir gefällt. I'm very happy that you like it. Sprachen. Mach was immer du möchtest. Do whatever you feel like. She really stuck a knife into his dead body. That means that the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him. No matter what it takes. Wirklich? Well, not everything. Nicht alles. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Apropos End. It's Cheetos in the chat. Ah, okay. Wir haben vorhin schon Nachos gehabt. Aber ja, geht das noch? Zu lang. Oh nein, jetzt kommen die ganzen Gern-Sachen. Wir machen eine... C. America! 5 Stunden. Ja, gefühlt ja. Nochmal 2 mindestens. Heute nicht mehr. I'm so sorry. Heute nicht mehr. Bei uns ist es schon nach Mitternacht. It's after midnight here and... I've been streaming for 3 hours. Essential and Think Better, liebe. Thank you for following.
Willkommen! Hallo! Thank you for following. No! I'm so sorry!
Kohle, Roller, Pfui, was? Nein! Es tut mir leid. Eine Stimme. Ich kann langsam nicht mehr. Eigentlich wollte ich nur bis Mitternacht jetzt machen. Und es dauert noch so ewig jetzt. Objection! Oh! Hallo, Q Greases. Sorry, but it's 10. Ja, es ist schon spät bei uns. An einem Dienstag, Mittwoch. Too late. Nur weil ich gestern und Freitag so lange überzogen habe, heißt das nicht, dass ich das immer mache. Auch wenn es toll war. No, come back! Vielleicht spielen wir es am Morgen zu Ende. Ich würde sagen, ja, damit wir es endlich mal geschafft haben. Damit ich nicht wieder da sitze und denke, es ist immer noch nicht vorbei. Morgen. Tomorrow we'll end this. Verdammt, ich muss neu followen, um so von Maren begrüßt zu werden. Ach stimmt, was? Das habe ich gar nicht mit dir gemacht?
Willkommen. Willkommen zurück.
Well, it was nice to meet you and I'll definitely come back. Thank you. I'm glad. So. Ich finde, wir haben heute vieles geschafft. Is this a German stream? Yes, mainly yes. It says so even in the title, with the GER means German. But we play Phoenix Wright in English, so... Oops, sorry. It's bilingual with this game. So langsam eine Qual. Ja, vor allem, weil sie alles 5-mal wiederholen müssen. Musik. So, that's what. And the time is running, so it has an end. Oh, meine Güte. No, it's Canadian. Without. Kein Arabisch. Was bleibt mir noch zu sagen, außer vielen Dank für die Hosts heute. Leute, die von Videos rübergekommen sind. Ich hoffe, es hat euch mir gefallen. Danke nochmal. Ich hoffe auch, ihr hattet Spaß bei Videos. Okay, ich bin unterwegs. Ja. Morgen geht's zu Ende. Tomorrow will end. That's right. No, well, we'll bring this to an end. So. Und ich wünsche euch eine schöne gute Nacht. Oder good night sleep. Nächstes Mal noch was wieder durchschicker. Mal schauen. Habe ich die Musik wieder zu laut gemacht? Das tut mir leid. Das ist das Problem, wenn ich mich nicht höre. So, morgen um 21 Uhr. Deutsche Zeit. Machen wir das hier zu Ende. Schlaf gut. Bis morgen. Habt eine gute Nacht. Und einen schönen Tag.
Tschüss. Bis gleich. Ich wusste Elektrinchen, okay? Gehen wir darüber. Bye, bye.